Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Corruption watchdog holds erstwhile Executive Director of Nepal Telecom Sunil Podal and then Director of Security Printing Center Bikal Podal over allegation of corruption. National Assembly elections slated for tomorrow. The Election Commission all prepared to hold the polls. A Russian military transport plane carrying 65 Ukrainian prisoners of war crashes in Russia's Belgorod region. Local governor says there are no survivors. And Nepal taking in Pakistan at ICC Men's Under-19 Cricket World Cup posts a target of 198 runs. The Election Commission has completed all preparations for the National Assembly election slated for tomorrow. According to the Apex Election Authority, all preparations have been completed, including security provisions at all voting stations in all 7 province headquarters. The voting is slated from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow for 19 seats at the National Assembly. Province Assembly members, rural municipality chair and deputy chair, and municipality mayors and deputy mayors are to vote in the election tomorrow. Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority CIA has held erstwhile Executive Director of Nepal Telecom Sunil Podal and then Director of Security Printing Center Bikal Podal. Both of them have been alleged of corruption. Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority had filed cases against individuals, including Sunil Podal, on 2nd of October last year. The anti-graft body has also filed a case against Bikal Podal. Both Sunil and Bikal were suspended after the cases were filed. However, after the cases were filed, the two were also investigated for suspected involvement in irregularities related to public properties, abuse of resources or programs, and depositing funds abroad. A team of the authority has arrested both of them today and has also confiscated documents from their residence in Shantinagar and Mandi, Qatar. Polarization has begun among the parties of the ruling coalition of Karnali province in not even a year of the formation of the alliance. Coalition partners CPN Maoist Centre and Nepali Congress are divided on issues related to upgrading the province hospital as an institute of health sciences and the Academy for Mass Media. Coming April will mark 1 year of the power share between CPN Maoist Centre and Nepali Congress in Karnali province. The two parties are divided regarding the upgrading of the province hospital in Surkhet to Institute of Health Sciences and the formation of a mass media academy to regulate the media sector. With Nepali Congress in favour of upgrading the province hospital, CPN Maoist Centre, which is leading the government, has stated that doing so would increase financial burden on the province. With Maoist Centre not in favour of the institute, Congress has also ignored the formation of Mass Media Academy. Ministry of Internal Affairs of Karnali is being led by CPN Maoist Centre, while Nepali Congress is heading the Province Ministry of Finance. The responsibility of assessing laws for the institute is shouldered by the Ministry of Internal Affairs, while the Ministry of Finance has to issue its consent for construction of physical infrastructures. However, the clash of interests of these two ministries in recent time has delayed the formation of the two entities. Now, an agreement has yet to be reached as dispute has continued at the BP Kerala Institute of Health Sciences, BPKIHS, where services have remained at a complete halt for the past 2 weeks because of the protests of doctors and staffers. Efforts were made for another round of talks today, as yesterday's meeting of the Executive Committee held had ended inconclusively. Speaking with Kantipur News, BPKIHS Registrar Surya Prasad Sangorola said that uncertainty has persisted after Acting Vice-Chancellor Prahlad Gargi had left yesterday's meeting. Dispute remains regarding whether to conduct the interviews of the teachers and staffers first or the meeting of the Senate. Vice-Chancellor Gargi has remained firm in his stance of holding the Senate meeting first. Services at the hospital have remained halted for the past 2 weeks because of the protest, which has left the patients and their family members at the receiving end. Now, with the demand of sound management of parking, business entities of the New Road area in Kathmandu have protested today as well. The businesses in New Road area have resorted to protest after Kathmandu Metropolis prohibited parking in the area. Meanwhile, footpath shops have also held a separate protest with a demand of specific time and location for their operation. Local businesses have resorted to protest after Kathmandu metropolis prohibited parking on the black-topped road in New Road area. The businesses have been agitated in fear of facing crisis in absence of parking facilities. They have called for appropriate alternative from the metropolis for parking. Kathmandu metropolis had been operating smart parking at areas including New Road, Dharmapath and Bir Hospital from 16th of June 2019. Following the end of the contract, the metropolis had removed the smart parking. Meanwhile, footpath shops inside the Kathmandu metropolis have also held a protest with demand of specific time and location for their operation. They have also called for implementation of the 4-point agreement reached with campaigner 5 months ago. Despite the assurance of the metropolis to allocate a separate location for the footpath shops, it is yet to make necessary arrangements. And it's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, why have local levels lacked financial discipline? Your options are A, corrupt mentality, B, lack of experts, and C, feeble monitoring. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. A business person identified as Santosh Agrawal has died after jumping from the 5th floor of his house in Dhangadi. Operator of the Sandeep store located at Dhangadi bus park, 53-year-old Agrawal had jumped from the 5th floor this morning. He was pronounced dead by the doctors after he was taken to Nawajivan Hospital for treatment. His body has been taken to Sethi Provincial Hospital for post-mortem. Now, birds from Siberia, Mansarovar and Nainital of India have reached the Rara Lake, one of the best tourist destinations in Karnali province. These birds have reached Rara to avoid the cold weather in their place of origin. These birds stay in Rara for at least 5 months before making their return with the onset of the summer season. According to Conservation Officer of Rara National Park, Raju Khimire, a total of 392 birds of 5 species have been spotted in Rara so far this season. A team of 24 were involved in the census of the birds. Let's move on to international update. A Russian military transport plane carrying 65 Ukrainian prisoners of war has crashed in Russia's Belgorod region, according to Russian state media, citing the defense ministry. Local governor has said there are no survivors. Russian strikes wounded 9 in eastern Ukraine's Kharkiv, the regional governor said, after a Russian missile barrage across the country that claimed more than a dozen lives. Meanwhile, senior Russian lawmaker has accused Ukraine of downing the plane. The Speaker of Russia's lower house of the parliament, Vyacheslav Volodin, accused Kiev of shooting down a plane carrying 65 Ukrainian prisoners of war, saying they shot down their own soldiers in the air. Volodin added Russian pilots who were carrying out a humanitarian mission were shot down, however, gave no evidence to back up his accusation. His claim has yet to be independently verified. Belgorod Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov said emergency services were working on the crash site. The plane was carrying 65 Ukrainian prisoners along with 6 crew members and 3 other passengers. The crash occurred around 1100 a.m. local time. Now, a Gaza florist is selling roses to displaced Palestinians in Rafah, hoping to spread joy among people during the war. Hassam Abdul Hadi, who is himself displaced, walks around tent camps in Rafah and outside hospitals with a bunch of freshly picked red roses, calling on people to buy the delicate flower. Abdul Hadi said that people who approach him buy roses for the injured family members or relatives in the hospital or those who have lost their homes during the war. Abdul Hadi sells a rose for $0.80, but he gave one for free to a boy being wheeled by his sister out of the hospital close by. At least 6 people were killed, including 3 firefighters, after a truck carrying 60 tons of liquefied natural gas exploded in the Mongolian capital of Ulaanbaatar. Firefighters battled against intense flames with an international school in the background this morning. Explosion occurred in a mainly residential area where there are many schools and kindergartens. Authorities said the fire quickly engulfed several nearby buildings, including a residential building, while scores of cars were burned to shell. The tragedy has sparked conversations about safety criteria and questions on who was responsible for the disaster. A Thai court has ruled former Prime Ministerial hopeful Pita Limjaroenrat had not violated election law and could remain a lawmaker, surviving the first of two cases targeting the anti-establishment opposition Move Forward party. Almost 100 of Pita's supporters celebrated with tears of joy as the court announced its verdict, stating that the company in which Pita owned shares did not possess a broadcasting concession and should not be classified as a mass media organization. The court cleared Pita to return to Parliament from suspension. This decision is a win for the progressive Move Forward party, which gained popularity in the last election by attracting young urban voters with its agenda to break up business monopolies and reform laws related to insulting the monarchy. The same court will next week decide whether Move Forward's plan was unconstitutional and tantamount to an attempt to overthrow the democratic regime of government with the king as the head of the state.
Next steps of the kind of work that needs to be done.
German train drivers walked off the job again today in what is said to be Germany's longest ever rail strike, spelling more headaches for commuters with scant signs of a return to negotiating table on the horizon. The strike, which began at 2 a.m. this morning and is set to last until Monday evening next week, is the fourth round of industrial action in the GDL union's dispute with state-owned Deutsche Bahn and comes just 2 weeks after a previous strike ground national rail traffic to a near halt for 3 days. A spokesperson for the national rail operator spoke of renewed massive restrictions across the country. Drivers in rail freight are holding a simultaneous strike. GDL leader Klaus Wesselski told German public broadcaster that he was ready to compromise in the dispute over pay and working hours, but said Deutsche Bahn's office did not go far enough. Heavy snow brought traffic to a halt in central Japan today. Snowplows and workers with shovels were seen working to clear snow near the Sekigahara Highway interchange in the central Japanese prefecture of Gifu, where vehicles were stopped. Public broadcaster NHK reported that vehicles were backed up for around 5 kilometers near the interchange. Sekigahara had received 45 centimeter, approximately 17.7 inches of snow by early afternoon, and other areas in central and western Japan had received more than 30 centimeters of snow. Poor run of form continued for Koshi province as they suffered yet another defeat at the Prime Minister Cup. In the match played at Srivan University International Cricket Grounds in Kantipur, Koshi suffered an 8-wicket defeat against Sudur Pashchim province. Koshi won the toss and elected to bat, where they were bowled out for 123 runs in 32 overs. Minash Thapa top scored with 26 runs. Skipper Ankit Suvedi added 22, while Kamal Khatri chipped in with 18. Sher Malla picked 5 wickets for Sudur Pashchim, while Vikas Agri had 4 to his name. In reply, Sudur Pashchim chased a target of 124 runs in 21.1 overs, losing only 2 wickets. Naren Bhatta remained unbeaten at 54. Alongside Prakash Pandey with 34 runs. Firdaus Ansari picked 2 wickets for Koshi. Unbeaten Nepal Police Club secured their 5th successive win as they saw off Madhya province by 6 wickets at the Prime Minister Cup. In the match played at Mulpani, Madhya were put to bat, where they were bowled out for a paltry 96 runs. Araniko Yadav top scored with 23, skipper Harishankar Shah added 22, and Abhishek Tiwari remained unbeaten at 11, while none of the other batters scored in double digit. Sagar Dhakal was the pick of the police bowlers with 5 wickets. Lalit Raj Bansi had 4 to his name, while Rashid Khan had a scalp. In reply, the departmental team chased the target in 18.3 overs. Sunil Dhamala scored 28, Kushal Bhurtel added 19, while Amit Shrestha and Arif Sheikh remained unbeaten with 15 and 16 runs. Ranjit Kumar and Arniko Yadav shared 2 wickets each for Madhya. In another match, Trivanani club secured a 65-run win over Lumbini province. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.